Last week I did a video in which I said I'm going to become a billionaire. And I've come to think over the past week that this is probably the biggest gift I can give you. I did a video yesterday where I told you that I was going to give my 3 grandchildren each 1 share of Amazon stock for their college and high school graduation and their birthday. And I think that's the best gift I can give them at this point. But I want to reiterate, the best gift I can give you is not only how to become a millionaire, but how to think such that you can become a billionaire. Because what I've learned in the last week is once you make this transition, once you make the mental transition that, yes, I can become a millionaire or a billionaire, your mind changes dramatically. Your focus changes dramatically. And I want to share with you the process I've gone through and how I've eliminated things and how I am coming to focus on one disruptive move that I can make based on the knowledge that I have, the experience that I have, that I can become a billionaire. That's my gift to you. So rather than spend a lot of time in the future talking about which stocks to buy and which stocks to own, there's a lot of YouTubers who do that. I'll still do that if I see some real opportunities. But I think the real gift that I can give you through YouTube is sharing my knowledge and my experience of how I became a millionaire and then how I'm going to become a billionaire. If this is something that you think you'd like to be a part of, if you think you'd like to grow in this way, understand there are 2,600 billionaires in the world today. But because of disruption, because of the change that's happening in our world, that number is growing at the rate of 36, a new one every 36 hours. In other words, a new one every day and a half. That's exponential growth. If you'll start thinking that way, you could be one of them. So subscribe if this is something you'd like to be a part of. Hit the bell if you'd like to see my next video and become a part of the tribe. Okay, stick with me. I think this could change your life if you just change the way you think. All right, be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
The first thing that I realized is you must think big. John Koplis sent me a video, thank you, John, just this week, talking about his inspiration, how I have inspired him to create a YouTube channel, to share his 35 years of appraisal work with other realtors or with realtors, and how he might build an additional source of income from that. John, you're not thinking big enough. You're thinking small. You're thinking $10,000. I want you to think $10 billion or $10 million. And how can you take the 36 years of your experience and turn that into something bigger than you can imagine? Change your mind. Think big. Surround yourself with other people who think big. Don't be thinking about tomorrow or next week or how I'm going to make an extra $10,000 a month. Think about how I'm going to become a billionaire. Now, what does it take to become a billionaire? Does it take a new source of income? No, that's not going to get it done. Does it take another couple paychecks? No, that's not going to get it done. I think we all know that. What it takes is equity. It takes you building something that someone else wants, and you own the equity within it, and they pay you a sizable amount of it. I'm familiar with two guys. One is by the name of Spencer Roscoff and Jeff Barton. They're two guys who started a disruptive company called Expedia. And what they basically did was digitalize the travel industry. So when was the last time you went to a travel agent? You haven't. Okay. Most of us haven't. We go online to book our hotels, to book our cruises, to book our vacations. And they, through Expedia, created that. They then turned around and sold it. It's currently got a market cap of $25.9 billion. They took their knowledge, and again, think about what they're doing. They digitalized the travel industry. So then they went and they started a new company. It's called Zillow. They digitalized the real estate industry. What they literally did, if you think about what Jeff Bezos did, he digitalized the Sears Roebuck catalog. Well, what they did, travel industry, and then the real estate industry, they digitalized the MLS listing. It used to be that a real estate agent would get this big book, and it would be organized and cataloged by houses and neighborhoods and prices, and you would thumb through the pages. And in fact, you would sit down with a client and you would thumb through the pages. Well, Jeff and Spencer said, let's digitalize the real estate industry. And they did that, and they started selling leads to real estate agents. And now they're actually in the business of flipping homes and buying homes and selling them. And they have turned that into a $31.6 billion industry. I don't know how many shares and what their share count is on that, but they're billionaires. What they did was disrupt an industry. Think about Netflix. It's owned by Ted Sarandos and Reed Hastings. I know about them because I read the book, That Will Never Happen, and how they digitalize the movie industry, and how they now have on their hands. And read that book, because you will read that Ted shares with you that he and his wife at times thought, this isn't going to happen. We're going to lose everything we got. And then Reed Hastings came in and helped him bring it on to what it is. And notice that in all of these cases, there's two people involved. You know, it was Jeff and his wife. It was Larry and Sergey. It was Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. It was Sergey. Yes, I said that. You need somebody to bounce it off of. You need somebody to work with you. Well, Netflix basically digitalized the movie industry. Nita and I used to maybe see one movie a month. We now see about 3 or 4 a week because of what Ted and Reed did. They thought big. That's now a $228 billion industry. Equity. You create equity to become a billionaire. You make good investments to become a millionaire. But to become a billionaire, you have to create equity. You have to disrupt. Amazon, we know the story there. Read The Everything Store. It's not written by Jeff, but it walks you through how he became the richest man in the United States. His little business, Amazon, is now worth $1.7 trillion. He created equity. He moved to Seattle. He started something in a garage, and he digitalized commerce. That's what I'm going to do. Again, I spoke to you in the last video about that the answer was to give you ownership of your data. I've pushed that to the side. I don't know how to create a search engine. There is one called Cocoon that Homer pointed me to. I don't have the talent to do that. I can't write the code to create a search engine that will pay you for your data, because that's probably what it's going to have to be. So I've pushed that to the side. But understand, I thought about it. I explored it. I researched it, and I pushed it to the side. I have a new idea. I'm not going to share it with you because there's an element of it I don't own. And that I'll tell you about another day. The element that I do own is this YouTube channel. I can turn this YouTube channel into $1 billion business. And I figured out how to do it. I've just got to bring another element into it. So let me dispel some myths. I started this YouTube channel with literally nothing. I started by shooting from my camera, holding my camera up. Then I bought a tripod. Then I bought some lights. Then I upgraded to a better camera, about $1,200. And then I upgraded to a microphone. But you really don't need money to make money. So let's push that off the table. You can't throw that at me and say, well, I can't become a billionaire because I don't have the money. That's bullshit. That's an excuse. That's the roommate in your head telling you, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can. Think big and then surround yourself with other people who think big. The first one I want you to surround yourself with is me. I think big. I'm going to take you there if you will subscribe and if you will become a part of my tribe at bestofusinvestors.com. I will be the first person to help you think big. And then you will help me think big. And we will get big together. What I want you to then think about is, what can you do to make more out of your life and learn how you can become great? Start thinking about, what can I do to enhance my life and enhance my family's life from the knowledge that I have today? How can I create a disruptive situation? And then notice of the examples that I gave you, Expedia, Zillow, Netflix, Amazon, they all involve digitalizing an existing industry, an industry that is antiquated. Zillow will even take the real estate industry further. They are working to turn the job of a real estate agent into a 9-to-5 job. And John, that's where I want you to be thinking. How can you digitalize your end of the business? John, I want you to be thinking about best of U.S. real estate services. Okay? There's a lot of elements around the real estate business, such as title work, such as home inspections, such as appraisals, that are going to be digitalized. And Zillow is probably the person who's going to come and buy your digitalization of bust of U.S. real estate services for over $1 billion. Again, understand, the two guys who built the picture Instagram worked on it for 18 months before Mark Zuckerberg came and bought it from him for $2 billion. Well, since there were two of them, I think it was 2 or 3, they each came away billionaires. 18 months, digitalization of photography. Okay, so John, be thinking not about creating a YouTube channel where you can answer real estate agents' questions. Be thinking about how you can digitalize all that for a real estate agent so that he doesn't have to learn all the intricacies of DocuSign and how to set up a closing and how to get an inspection. Think about how you could or how to get an appraisal, how you could digitalize all that. So all the real estate agent had to do was come to your service and you would do it all for them. Digitalize an industry. That's what I want all of you to be thinking about. What can I digitalize? What antiquated industry is there that is ripe for change? And what can I pull out of my past and my experience to facilitate that change? Now, again, let's go back to the question, well, I don't have any money. If you've got the idea, and if you put it together and then you go find the element, maybe it's money, maybe it's someone else who can become your partner in the garage, and then you make people aware of it, the money will find you. There is more money than there is courage and big thinkers out there. So if you've got the idea and if you've put together the pieces, the money will find you. They will come to you and say, I want a piece of what you're doing, and I'm willing to finance you to get it done. That's exactly what happened to Mark Zuckerberg. That's exactly what happened to Google. The money found them. They need the creative ideas. They need the disruptors. They need the people who are going to show them the way into the future. And that's what you need to be. And that's the gift that I want to give you. I want to get you thinking that way. First of all, foremost, you need to get rid of that negative roommate in your head. And I'll plug my own book. That's how I got to where I was. I recognize that because I lost my mother when I was 8 years old, because I was dyslexic and I was told I was dumb in school, because I was an angry young boy, I became who I am. But along with that came that roommate who said, no one loves you. Your mother deserted you when you were 8 years old. You can't read. You're a dummy. But somehow I overcome it. But truly, that was through just guts and courage. Everything since I got rid of that roommate has just been because my roommate now tells me, why aren't you a billionaire, Carrie? What is the industry that you can disrupt and create a huge amount of cash flow that will then be bought by one of the big six? And it's that simple. That's how I think of it. Because I have a roommate that I have 90% of my conversations with who's on my team. He's a big thinker as well. So that's what I want to do for you. That's my gift to you. I've been around in this world for 76 years. I'm lucky that I got through it and I kind of have an understanding of how I got to where I am and how I can get to where I want to go. And that's what I want to share with you. Yeah, I'll continue to talk about the stocks that are going to disrupt as a result of the pandemic, as a result of the broken supply chain, and how the 7 stocks that you must own. Amazon, the ones I'm giving to my grandchildren. But really, I want you just to start thinking bigger, and I want you to surround yourself with big thinkers, and I want me to be the first one. All right? Okay. I'm going to become a billionaire. I know how I'm going to do it. I need to solicit some people. I've already started that. I've written my first letter. I'm now building my business plan. I'm researching. I will put together a presentation that I will send to about probably 100 people and say, if you'd like to be a part of this, I'll let you in, and I'm going to become a billionaire. I've already decided it. So stick around. You'll go through the journey with me, and hopefully you'll learn from it, and you'll decide you want to become a billionaire as well. All right, talk to you again tomorrow.